All right, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be talking about how you can add some additional pages to your magazine, and we're going to be creating a timeline. So let's go from properties, we're going to go to our pages panel over here, and you're going to click let me get my magnifying glass out here. You're going to click the plus button 4 times, and you're going to end up with two-page spreads. So this is the cover, and this is a 2-page spread. And then you can also scroll up and down to get your work your way through there. Okay, so we're going to go to this pages 2 and 3, and we're going to be creating a timeline. So make sure that they're selected and click on them to make sure. Then you can go back to your properties. And we're going to be creating layout guides. So we're going to go to Layout, Create Guides, and you want to make sure that you fit the guides to your margins. Check the preview box to make sure that you can see what's going on. And we're going to do 7 rows and 5 columns, and you can see that we get this nice little grid. So say OK. And this is going to be the foundation of our timeline. So I'm kind of going online looking at some ideas, and you can change this up however you want. But first do it my way, and then afterwards you can make it work for you. So you can choose any of these different layouts or come up with your own. I'm going to just go ahead and kind of use this one as a starting point. So it looks like we have a line that goes directly through the middle. So I'm going to use that. And then it looks like it's got a little bit of a thickness to it. And we're going to use the same color scheme that we used on our cover. So this is my cover, and you want to just stay with that color scheme. So now I'm going to put some images down here at the bottom. And it looks like there's a little bit of space there. So let's go ahead and use some placeholders for that. And maybe my images will be in these boxes. And I'm using these grids to help me, but I don't have to stay with them 100%. But, I can go halfway across this square. That's okay. But it's just a good way for you to be able to stay organized and keep everything consistent. And I'll just select all these and bring them over here. And then the same thing with some text. It looks like we're going to need some text boxes down here. And, whatever fonts used on the cover, I recommend that you use the same fonts on this. So choose a relatively bigger size for these. You don't want to make it too small. Let's go with maybe 18. And I'm going to go to Type and then Fill with placeholder text. So that looks like a pretty good size. And then I'll just go ahead and copy these with Alt. I'll just do all these at once. And there we go. Oh, I should have probably changed the colors of these first, but we'll talk about that in just a second, how you can do that. Next, let's go ahead and add a title up here. So remember, you don't want to write in this area because that's going to be cut off when you print it. So whatever the title is, I'll just put up here, and maybe I'll use the same font as my cover title. So title, and then if you wanted to maybe put some design or something like that, some lines, that'd be a good idea over there on that side. But let me go ahead and center that. And then some other information could go here. So we're going to have our pictures. This is going to be our timeline. You might want to say somewhere that there's some sort of timeline going on here. And then you can use the line tool or the pen tool to connect these to different dates. So you could go like something like that. Maybe that's when, that's the 0. That's when this person was born. Or, and that happened here. And maybe this happened here, so that you don't necessarily have to keep everything exactly spaced out, so you can actually hit these lines to where they occurred. And then I can actually bring this to the top, go into my layers and bring the line on top so that it covers up those paths, so everything looks organized. And then other than that, yeah, how would I change these so that they all change? So let's say I decide I'm going to use a different color. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new paragraph style. by going to my properties. If I highlight this text, I'm going to hit the plus, and I'm going to call this timeline text. Hit enter. And I'm going to change the fill color of this timeline text to this red, and I'm going to change the font to something less boring. Let's do this one, and maybe I'll change the size to be a little bit lower. Okay, now that I've done that, I'm going to hit right here, say redefine the style, and I'm going to say, okay, that's what my timeline text is now. So if I select all these other text boxes, I'll just put a big old box around them. I can choose from this list timeline text, and it'll actually change them to that. And now if I decide, you know what, I actually don't like this font. Instead of bold, I want to use, maybe I don't want a bold font. Maybe I want to try something else for these, like this kind of thinner one. And I want to go, oops. And I want to go a little bit bigger. Now I hit redefine, and watch what happens. It'll redefine all these other text boxes so that they match that. So get used to using these layout guides, and you can always hit W to make them disappear to kind of see how everything's looking. And then try creating some paragraph styles to change the fonts of all of these. And then when you're done making yours look like this, what I'd like you to do is change this up and actually fill in the content. But for now, I'll just start off by turning it in so it looks like this. All right. Thanks for watching.